her and her husband.
That's disturbing.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, friends.
Hi. Today we are friends of Disney.
We are actually friends of Disney. If you're wondering why we're saying that, last week we were not friends of Disney.
Spoilers. Join us on New Year's Eve.
Hold on.
I said spoilers.
If you haven't checked out last week's episode, it was on Wicked. So feel free to check it out. Link there. And yes, come join us on New Year's Eve. We will be having a live stream from 9 p.m. Pacific.
I realized something, Sean.
Well,
The white right here is a great place to place links.
YouTube auto populates the links here.
Well, it should populate them here.
Anyways, join us New Year's Eve for a live stream at 9 p.m. Pacific to celebrate our first year as a channel to New Year's. So 9 p.m. to midnight ish. We'll probably play games, talk.
Maybe some karaoke.
Maybe some people will join us. But come join us on New Year's Eve. We want to see you and celebrate the new year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
But on to today's episode, we're going to see how far.
I am Moana.
Yes, we are talking about the new release of Moana 2.
The music sucked. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. Okay, right out of the gate, first impression, music was not that great. Subpar. No Grammys there, really, in my opinion.
Hey, hey, the light of my life.
Hey, hey, and Pua were great.
Yes, and the Kakamora.
And the Kakamora. Okay.
Who knew they actually had a soul? Those
Okay,
headless coconuts.
so first impressions,
It's a cute
broad
story.
view. What were your thoughts?
It's a cute story. The music sucks. And you know what? I don't feel like there's any more left to Moana except for a like Moana TV show.
I could see that. Um, yeah, the music, in my opinion, sucked. Not that it was just bad, but they didn't have Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It was the rise of Red for music.
Kinda, yeah. Like the music itself was fine, but if the songs themselves felt like sequels to the original songs.
And Moana does do her iconic I am Moana.
Like instrumental wise, I feel in terms of the instrumental parts of the songs, I feel like those were pretty well orchestrated.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I feel like the lyrics weren't that great. Like Maui had a solo song where he was trying to like
Do his
encourage
rapping thing.
yeah, they tried to incorporate a little bit more rapping for Dwayne Johnson as Maui.
Yeah.
To similar veins
They
like he did
wanted
in
that similar vibe of I buried an eel. Like
I buried in Neil, like buried in Scott. Scattered a tree, then you got
got
coconuts.
coconuts.
What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with his Maui. Well, he's on a breakaway, and we're not gonna get copyrighted.
But they can't replicate that. They didn't replicate it.
they tried, but it was like in like small pieces, and he was trying to like inspire Moana to rise up, be the leader or whatever, and it felt like if it didn't sell that well. Like it's almost like they tried to combine "You're Welcome" with "Be a Man" from Moana. I mean, from Mulan.
Somehow. Oh.
Yeah, do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Like they tried to combine those two songs, and it created an ugly stepchild.
Yes. But
And like
Moana's sister.
Moana's sister was the best part of the movie. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, hold up.
Like
The interwebs.
Moana's sister, like, and her have the cutest relationship. Like, she's all about like, Moana, don't leave me. You're not allowed to leave again. You were gone for 3 days. That's forever. And they had this she did this like cute little retelling about Moana's first adventure where she was like mocking about how she was
Sima or Sim. Wait,
Simea.
Simea.
Simea. And like she had this cute little moment where she like mocked how like the grandma told her like grab Maui by the ear and say, "I am Moana of Motunui. You board my boat, sail across the ocean to restore the heart of Tafiti." Like it was so cute.
And then Moana's just like, or you can grab him by the ear and tell him that.
Yeah, exactly. And
Honestly, I feel like Maui did more work in this movie.
Maui. So something that I'm happy to see that this movie didn't do was that it didn't get rid of Maui's character development from the first movie. He stayed like a changed demigod as much as you can have a changed demigod. And like he very much so had that still had that care for Moana and was like, don't bring her into this. And this other chick was like, too bad. You taught her to be a wayfinder genius.
Speaking of a demigod,
No, that is the spoiler of all spoilers. We are not bringing that up.
yeah, we are.
No.
Yes, we are.
Can we wait to bring that up?
Sure.
Because this is your warning now. Later on, there is going to be a major
Big,
spoiler.
big, big spoiler.
Okay. Besides the music, what other issues did you have with this movie?
Oh, um,
Without down spiraling down a tangent.
the girl who fixes the boats and like makes new ones.
She was annoying. I did not like her.
I do not like her either.
So Moana has to assemble this like crew to travel with her, and they're like, oh, and she like picks this person that like is supposed to like builds a canoe and continues tries to advance them and stuff, which is great. Except when she tries to do it in the middle of the ocean many times.
Yes, like Moana should have just had her not keep her saw with her, but or her little tool, but ended up becoming useful.
There needed to be bigger ground rules.
Yes.
Because when you're in the middle of the ocean and you're chopping away at the main mass of the freaking boat,
Let's talk about the squish. What's his name has on Maui.
oh my god. So this other guy on the crew, he's meant to be like the muscle kind of guy.
He tells all the stories on the island.
Yeah, like he learns all the legends and tells them to the kids, and he has a major squish, which is like a friend crush on Maui. Like
He's
literally has been
making
drawing fan art of
yes,
him with Maui instead of Maui with Moana. And he has like the biggest fanboy moments throughout the entire movie when Maui gets into the picture.
like
Like,
he's making historical fiction.
no
Or
fan fiction.
I, it could be taken either way
Why would it be historical fiction?
because it's taking place in a time, but it's not real.
But he's making it's fan fiction. Like he's taking them stories and changing them for
To
his narrative.
yes,
Like he wants. It's fan fiction.
I would consider it like kind of along the lines of historical fiction.
Twilight is fan fiction.
You're
Or is it 50 Shades is fan fiction? Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Casper, we like you. Yeah. So Casper, aka the Peanut Gallery, informed us that 50 Shades was a fan fiction of Twilight. And historical fiction is like taking an event and filling in the gaps because we don't have every detail of the event written down. So it's kind of like making it what you think could have happened, but obviously didn't or wouldn't have happened. I think this aligns better with fan fiction because it took an already existing story and is just twisting it to how he wants it to be to include him.
I don't know. I just put it around the lines of historical fiction.
But so really quick plot wise about this movie. So obviously we know from the end of the movie, Moana's like, we gotta find our ancestors, our people, and connect them together. And we start this movie with her trying to do that and failing.
Do a do a do a do a do a do a.
Why the Agent P reference?
Because eventually, mission accomplished.
That
Achieve.
seems like more like a little Einstein reference. Mission completion. But
But
it's
no, her sailing through the ocean is like an Agent P thing, like do a do a do a do a do a do a.
sure okay. I'll let you have that.
Yay!
I personally disagree, but I'll let you have it.
Thanks.
uh, but
The things that go through my head are completely different.
um, that is very true. But so with Moana, she's like failing, but she finds this like broken pot with like this constellation and picture of a mountain, and she's like, "I finally found a clue, a blues clue." No, and so her dad wants to bestow her this ancient title. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it has to do with like a title that's like the Wayfinder for the tribe or whatever. And so you go through this ceremony to give her this um, title, and she gets shocked by lightning. Like a lightning bolt comes and strikes down on her, and she basically gets like visions from the ancestors, and the ancestor that last had this title who tried to accomplish what she's trying to accomplish and is like, oh yeah, this god got power hungry, captured this island, which severed all the connections across the ocean, so we can never be with our people. You got to somehow undo what this god did. And so she's like, bet. So she gets her crew and goes off to try and do this. And in the meantime, Maui's basically trying to do the same thing and gets into a raps with this bat lady.
Okay, I wonder. This is where I would love a side story on
Mm-hmm.
her. Is she like an actual vampire?
I don't know. So she's, I don't know if she's a god, demigod, bat lady, vampire, whatever. But she's something with bats, has magic
She has to be a mythical creature.
of some kind, but it's not clear how. And she ends up like trapping Maui just to trap him there until Moana gets there. She helps out Moana, and then we never see her again because we learn that she's like stuck there by the curse of the same god, but then we never see her again.
Not to mention, we also don't see this god.
No. We get
You
told
see
about this.
flashes of him,
No, and that's the most irritating thing. I'm like, we saw Tafiti,
but
but
you
you,
don't see this god.
yeah, this god, like his name's like Nalu or whatever. And I'm like, Nalu. Yeah.
Casper's giving us hints over here.
Well, Nalu sounds familiar to something. Oh, Nalu's the ship between Natsu and Lucian from Fairy Tail. That makes sense. Thank you, Casper. But his name's like Nalu or whatever, and we never see his face except for like a glimpse. What? We only got a glimpse of his face
A storm cloud.
during Moana's lightning visions from the ancestors,
Yeah.
which sucks because I'm like, I want to see Moana and Maui fight this giant storm god. Instead, they're fighting against these random little lightning tornadoes.
Like, why can't she have a solo like she did in the first movie and be like, there you are, and then restore the heart of Tafiti
Because
and
this wasn't the case.
gets splattered with flowers and greenery and
This
rushed on.
wasn't this that wasn't this story. This is a power hungry god.
Yeah, but you know what? He still could have showed up.
He was there. That's the thing, but they never showed us. It was just these giant storm clouds and little lightning tornadoes.
I know. I'm just saying there should have been like a physical god thing.
I agreed.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, I thought you were wanting like a rehashing of the Tafiti scene.
Well, you know, as much as they did rehashing of other things, they should have at least rehashed something
Oh
like
my
that.
god. How many things did they rehash? Because they rehashed the I am Moana. I want to say it's a reference, but when she literally is standing on top of a mountain and goes, I am Moana,
Moana.
it's literally reusing.
Yes.
Sorry, Casper.
And
But
also how like all the other songs reference to something from a prior song.
it was so frustrating. And when Moana's like gearing up to go, she like has this song number where she's like wrestling with the fact that she has to go on this perilous trip where the last time someone went on it, they died and stuff. And like her sister is like devastated at her sister having to go and she might not come back. And I hated this song because it didn't make sense. Because at one point she's with her sister, at another point she is crouching in the dirt. In another point, she's sailing on a boat. In this other point, she's on top of the mountain where she put her little conch shell. I'm like, cinematically, this is confusing. Where the fork are you?
She's all over. She's the Batwoman.
No, this is just dumb.
I know.
I did not like that.
Also, Hey Hey upgraded his snack.
Upgraded his snack?
Yeah, he no longer went from rocks to conch shells.
Oh, yeah. Rather than eating rocks, he kept on eating conch shells.
And cuz it was this honestly, it was kind of funny. It's like a comic relief type of thing, but like Moana would blow into the shell, you know, and then she'd be like, and then someday they'll call back, Hey Hey eats one, trying to spit it up.
That was a perfect
Sound of it.
yes.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's boat snack upgrades
do you
besides just Pua.
do you think Hey Hey and Pua are the new Timon and Pumbaa? No.
No.
But the thing is, there's these constant running jokes between Pua and Hey Hey where they're like, "Oh yeah, like
I
oh, like oh yeah, can someone go get the pork?" And Pua would be like, or boat snack, come here, boat snack upgrade.
I honestly loved Maui's comment of the end of just like, all right, bacon and eggs.
And both of them just go
Yes.
like like the number of times there's like this joke made about Pua being a pig and like pork,
Oh yeah, and
and
then
it like he like every time it's just like
let's talk about Moana's fangirls.
oh my god, Moana's a celebrity.
Oh, it's so funny. It was so cute how Maui said it, the Moana bees.
Yes. I don't know, like we were like on our way out of the theater because we literally just got back from seeing the movie.
Yes.
We were saying about how for once in a sequel, all of the characters, like side characters and stuff, are like really good. Like really nicely developed. You actually learn them. Some of them you love, some of them you hate. I'm looking at the lady that freaking works on these boats.
Also love the fact how she's just like, I know everything about boats, but yet has not done like a single wayfinding thing and had lived on the island for her entire life until like Moana comes back.
What do you mean? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean in the first movie, wayfinding was frowned upon.
Yeah, it was basically outlawed because no one's allowed beyond the reef.
Yes. So like how does this girl have all this knowledge on making boats?
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the movie, obviously, it's because it's a movie and has happy endings. We see that like they free this island or whatever, and the curse is broken, so all like the ocean is connected again.
Shh. Spoiler.
No, not
Spoiler.
yet. Not yet.
Spoiler.
Not yet.
Spoiler.
Not yet.
Spoiler.
I want to pitch this to you because
Someone dies.
no, this is no. Wait. Heal. Down, Jonelle. Down.
Death.
I want to pitch this as you as a potential threequel because it's an idea I had
Ugh.
for a third movie because they now are able to connect with all of like their ancestors and the other tribes and stuff. If one of them was bad, if Peanut Gallery agrees.
See, I just think it'd be easier to make it into a TV show at this point because of all the different tribes there were.
But imagine if one tribe, like, think of it like, have you seen Trolls 2 World Tour?
No,
Well, basically, imagine if one
maybe.
tribe was bad and we are like, no, we, we want to be the ones in charge. We can't be separate. So I'm going to conquer all of them now. And one by one, each tribe is then like taken over. And one man, like a person managed to escape a tribe and goes to Moana and is like, hey, the others are in danger. Well, yeah, it could be probably be a TV show, but I think that'd be a decent plot to go off of.
Look, I just hope they make a TV show out of Moana and don't make another movie.
Why couldn't it be another movie?
I really just don't feel like it needs a movie, another movie after this.
I could see that. As far as Disney sequels, though, this one is really good.
Is it though?
Minus the music. Like, I
Is
think if we were to take away the music, I think it'd be pretty good.
like definitely all the side characters make you laugh, but the
So
story,
what? So what are you not liking? Because you've always pointed at music, really, and that one chick that makes the boats that we don't like.
yeah.
So why is this subpar?
Like
Because
also,
you were crying. You cried.
yes, because of the little sister part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go on that later. But um the first one, there is definitely a lot more like I feel like more adventure than there was in this one because this one it was like a clear objective to going to this one place. Ex-
Technically, so was the last one.
yeah,
That
but
problem with the last one is because I'm getting veered off course
yes, and they
on
rarely
purpose.
got veered off course in this one.
Not without some pitfalls. The
The
thing,
clam, but that was more of a trap to take him right
the
there.
thing that I liked most about it was that the action scenes were a lot more intense. Like I felt more invested in what was happening in the movie. Like Moana is very event focused. Like it's like event, little transition, event, little transition, event. Whereas this one, it was a like very much a climb to going to a climax of events.
I do like though how they like brought modern culture references into the movie
Oh my god, the butt dial reference.
and also how Moana is a princess too according to most people.
Oh my god. Yeah, Maui straight up calls out a lot of Disney fans and is like, he calls Moana princess and she goes, not a princess. And Moana's like, most people think you are.
Yes. Like you could feel like they were like if anything you felt like you were a part of the movie, which was I liked that factor of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the way they did the action scenes were so well done because they added an intensity to them.
Hey, you're doing okay there, bud.
Casper Jr.,
There's a loud Casper Jr.
very loud Casper Jr.
This one doesn't have any boundaries.
Yep. But but not
Can
the
we go into the spoiler?
warning now, major spoiler.
Spoiler.
If you want to skip this spoiler, I will put a flashing time marker right here to the correct time to skip the spoiler.
Moana dies and becomes a demigod.
Casper says they knew it. That
Bum bum
okay.
bum.
Okay. To elaborate more on that, that scene was intense because Maui got struck down trying to raise up this island that got put underwater by the storm from this god. So Moana's like, if Maui can't bring up the island, I'll go to the island. Because there's this whole thing of Moana has to figure out that there's more than one way to do something or go
I
somewhere.
will say, I think that's the only good song out of the movie.
Yes.
Yes. So she's swimming down in the ocean,
The
and
god is pissed
it's been very clear that a human has to go onto the island.
to break the curse.
And so lightning is coming down in the water, and Moana is
It's
right slowly ahead of the lightning, and she touch.
she touches the top of the mountain of the island,
Uh,
and at the exact same time, the curse breaks and the lightning strikes her dead.
You know what I should have done? Tried to hold my breath for as long as she was underwater. Do you ever do that sometimes?
You couldn't have done that because when the curse breaks and the ocean like actually comes, they create an air pocket so she's no longer underwater.
Well, yeah, at least like stop until the air pocket, but
Eh,
see if it'd be like reasonably plausible for a human to hold their breath that long.
fair, but if she was struck by lightning and stopped being able to control her breath, then she would have drowned. That's the other piece of it. Her body was not under optimal condition.
Well, yeah, at that point she just died. Hence the spoiler.
But it was really beautiful because Maui, when he got struck down, he basically lost his demigod powers. Like you see his like tattoos coming, like going away and everything. He in that moment becomes mortal. The other humans like save him, and he when he comes to, he's like, "Where's Moana?" and goes down to find Moana since the curse got broken and stuff. He finds her. Ocean comes to it, creates an air pocket, and they start singing this song slash chant.
Well, Maui started the song as he's holding
Yeah.
Moana.
And
And then the ancestors form like the circle of the heart at Tifiti.
not entirely. It's more. It was more just a spiral,
Well, yeah, that the iconic Moana spiral.
but it's not the iconic Moana spiral because the iconic Moana spiral is a two ended, so it's like double. This was a single, just a regular spiral.
Either way,
But they're singing this. But there's this chant that comes, and like the grandma comes and stuff, and they're singing this song and basically bring back Moana to life.
and she gets an awesome tattoo. That's
She
all
gets
sparkly
tattoos on her arm. I've been seeing a lot of memes about Moana being the first tattooed Disney princess. Wrong.
because
Um,
she's not a princess.
yeah, and Pocahontas had a tattoo.
No, fair enough.
Um, but blanking words hard. So like they give her these tattoos. That's okay.
Oh,
Okay.
quick pause.
Quick pause for Casper.
Pause.
Okay.
Okay. Now you know where to cut.
Yeah.
Just I'll
Anyways,
that way. But
it's really cool because Maui gets his hook back and all his tattoos and all that back to being a demigod. But then, like, I don't know if it's the ocean or whatever, gives her her ore that she always has. And it's like imbued with magic as well for, I'm going to assume, wayfinding.
yeah.
Like, do we just see that she's like the wayfinding demigod, ocean demigod? Like, Maui is a demigod of the wind and sea and stuff. Do you think she has like an official title at all, or do you think she's just, hey, here's magic, have fun?
I think she'd be like the demigod of the seven seas.
This is Polynesian, so it's not seven seas. The seven seas is more.
Well, I thought there were seven seas connecting to the island.
It's it's not that there's seven seas. It's the ocean itself and like different currents and like paths of the ocean. I don't know. They didn't explain that part well.
They didn't explain it at all.
I know.
They just gave her magical powers and let us to think.
Mm-hmm. But like the little glimpse we saw of her like using them, because she never used them on this god we didn't like, see. It was after all the events. So the one little glimpse we see is her like putting her oar in the water, and we see like this path comes. So that's why I'm like saying like, oh, wayfinding. So she can always like find the way, you know? Um, but anyways, is there anything more on that spoiler you have to say?
Yeah. It looked like, didn't the wayfinding like technically take her back to the island?
No,
Oh,
she just kind of just sailed back.
okay. Well, okay, that was it.
Yeah. Okay.
Spoiler done.
Spoilers done. We're no longer talking about the spoiler after that point. After this point, it's
At this point, is it much of a spoiler that it's been out for a few days?
only been a few days. It comes out Monday.
Not our episode. The movie's been out
I
for a few days.
literally only like two,
Yes, a few.
but only so. But not a lot of people may have seen it. It's gonna take a minute for everyone to have seen it. That's common knowledge.
Okay,
We're releasing Monday,
people were
less than a
excited.
week. The theaters have been packed for this movie. Like Wicked and this movie, like there was much more advertising for Wicked than this movie.
Yes.
But I think this movie deserved more marketing and advertising than it did.
Well, to be
But
fair, do
again,
you think they're trying to market for Mufasa and Snow White coming up?
I can see Snow White more, but honestly, Disney's marketing hasn't really been that up to par.
Maybe they don't have the money for it. I'm gonna look at their
I think
financials again.
I think they're just worried about it. Like they're trying to just undercut and let the movie I think they're trying to let common interest for the movie speak more rather than trying to sell it.
Well, considering
Because
from a business perspective, most companies do this when they're not doing well. They're supposed to be spending more money on marketing, but we've seen Disney do cutbacks.
mhm.
We've seen Disney change their leadership a lot,
Mhm.
and we've seen a lot of changes recently. So I quite frankly don't think they can afford the marketing budget that they normally have.
But I also think they're trying to not create so much hype to reduce the amount of expectation being created. Because if there's a lot of marketing for certain movies, it creates hype. And if that hype is not lived up to, then that creates the bad negative reviews.
But also on the contrary point of new content creation, um rage baiting.
Rage baiting.
Yeah, is Disney starting to like rage bait their consumers? Like cr- creating all this hype for them to watch it and to be angry and create more hype about the movie because they're angry about the movie.
I personally think they're being a little more subtle to allow common interest. Like there wasn't a lot of marketing for Moana 2, I feel like. But people knew Moana. There was a little bit of marketing to create interest. And so it's allowing for natural curiosity to drive people to the movies. Like we didn't see much on this, but this is a new movie. We want to see it. Reducing the amount of hype that gets artificially created from the marketing. And so it allows for expectations to be reasonably met, but also it's like creating an intriguing factor to their movies of like Disney's coming out with this movie. We haven't heard much on it. We have to go see it because don't know much about anything about it.
Yeah, most of their marketing on this, like if there was any, was yes, she's a wayfinder and she's out there to search for the other islands.
We know Maui comes, and we know that Pua's there now,
Yeah.
and that there's a sister. Thank you, Casper.
But other than that, you see her and water.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what I think is more happening because when they marketed for Wish, they tried to do a lot of marketing for Wish, even releasing songs prior to Wish, which is always like the biggest point one of their movies. And we saw what happened to Wish, sadly, because Wish did not deserve the rage it received.
Okay, but If they tried to release the songs for this movie, it would suck.
I
It
agree.
would keep people away from this movie.
It was not great
No,
song
it was
wise.
not.
The songs themselves were a direct to video sequel. Oh, Casper Jr. looks so
Sorry, we're
cute.
keeping Casper Jr. entertained.
Um,
I'm making Casper believe they are getting a stuffy.
he can't even see that far.
Can he?
No.
Wow. How far do babies see?
And clearly about 8 inches.
Oh. Well, interesting.
Uh-huh. Um,
The more you know.
I know, right? What would you change about this movie besides the songs? Like, if you could have change anything, what would you change
The annoying chick.
besides her,
Damn.
besides songs, Casper?
Um,
Casper says Adeline Manuel Miranda.
those are the only
I
things
would have
that I
just
can
I would have
change.
just added a better fight scene between Moana and this god.
You know what? Maybe the god actually appearing. Seeing a physical god.
Mm-hmm. And seeing the bat chick come back. I don't remember her name, but we need the bat chick to come back.
Yeah, I need to know what happened.
I know.
Did she stay in her clan? God, that sounds horrible. Ooh. Okay.
Like we even got to see like the little Kakamora reunite with all the other Kakamora. So it's like
Okay. The Kakamora.
that was adorable. No, Casper, there was not.
The Kakamora were adorable.
Oh my gosh. So we saw it in the trailers that the Kakamora were coming back.
So apparently the Kakamora also praise Hey Hey.
Oh my god, Hei's a god to the Kakamora.
Yes.
So we see the Kakamora and they're like not even interested in Moana. They're like, actually, hey,
There we go.
we're trying to go back to our homeland, but we can't get there for the same reasons you can't get to your other people.
And
So
it's because
let's
of that
like
stupid
team,
island.
so like let's team up to get through this giant clam. Well, they try to go through this clam or whatever, and well, they fail. They get separated, but one Kakamora like stays with them through the journey. But it's funny because like we learn like where the Kakamora get their like paralyzing gel.
And it's like this funny. Oh, wait.
It's a snot monster. It's a snot monster.
No, it looks like a specific fish, though.
A blobfish.
Yes.
Blob.
Yes.
It's a blobfish.
It's a blobfish.
With the face of embarrassment from Inside Out 2.
Yes. And they tickle its nose, and that is the paralyzing snot.
The snot is paralyzing, but to undo the paralyzing, he literally like snails his way like over the people to like unparalyze them. They're like all covered in like green slime. It's and they make a joke of like, oh, it's from both ends.
Which is.
Oh, we were disgusted by this.
Ugh.
It was gross. But it's funny because like there's this old man, like the last person on Moana's crew is this old man and it's supposed to be the farmer, and he's like hating everything. Like he's hating being on a boat, he's hating the singing, he's hating Maui. But like him and the Kakamura become buddies. And like cause like the Kakamura talk by like knocking on themselves. And he's like at the end, he's like, oh yeah, I speak Kakamura now. And like but like it's cute because you get to see this one little Kakamora like reunite with everyone, and they like their chief like hugs him. Like it's so cute.
Who knew the coconuts were actually nice?
Yeah. um Casper and Casper Jr. both raised their hands at that as well. um but no, I want to know more about Bat Lady. I want to know about why she was put into that cave, into that clam to begin with. I want to know why we never got to see her after the curse got broken.
I want to know what's going to happen between Moana and Maui because it seems like they're starting to.
I was gonna say it seemed like the Bat Lady and Maui seem more interested in each other. Like you saw that, like she made like a comment about, like, "Ooh, Maui looks good. Is looking good today."
See, I think she's interested in Maui, but I think Maui's interested in Moana.
I want to think that they're still friends. I like that they're like they haven't been pushing the romantic interest between them.
But at the end for Moana,
We're not. I know the end for Moana. Nothing happened between them.
but it makes them closer.
Theoretically,
And now they can relate a little more to one another.
to a degree,
Or at least he can teach her some things and they can spend more time together.
possibly.
And he also doesn't get that annoyed with Moana as he does with Bat Lady.
I mean, yes. I feel like he gets more annoyed over the fanboy. But genuinely, I think that is more speculation. Like they have a chance to, but I don't. There's no telling whether things would pan out that way.
I think they would.
I don't think so.
Voting question, I guess, on our social medias in a few days. Do you think Maui and Moana would be together or Maui and Bat Lady together?
I'll make this post.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. Maui Bat Lady or Maui and Moana. Casper says Maui X Mini Maui.
I'll tell you part of the spoiler
Mm,
after the recording.
Enough about that spoiler.
But come on.
um no, I think overall it was a solid movie. Worth seeing.
Just don't have high expectations for music.
Yeah, really don't have high expectations for music. The best part is the sister relationship.
Yes.
That is the best relationship. I wanted to cry at so many scenes regarding the sister.
Okay. Here's where I'm going to go on my rant with this one. How the sister scene made me cry.
No down spiraling.
Because Moana and her sister are roughly the same age difference between me and my sister.
I know. I knew you this was gonna come up when we watched the movie.
And, you know, because, like, I know my sister loves me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I'm off doing my own thing. And, you know, right now, like, I will say I have kind of, like, not really wanted to see my sister at the moment lately. Because it's too mentally taxing on me right now.
Which is fair.
Um, for those of you who don't know, my sister has 17 psychological disorders.
We don't need to dive into that.
Yeah, no, we do not.
uh,
Just know there's a lot of stuff going on up here for her, and relationships are hard for her to make with other people, and just watching after her is very taxing.
you don't have to explain that much. It's okay.
It's anyways, I always feel guilty. Like legit, like Moana always, like, she went back to her sister obviously, and her sister's like, please come back to me. And like I hear my sister tell me those things all the time, but at the same time I know how my sister's going to react. And so like I'm just not at like the best mentally prepared spot either to like deal with my sister's emotions and her challenges.
Pause.
And we're good. But um it's just kind of one of those things where it's like I do want to spend more time with my sister cuz I
Mm,
feel like she doesn't have a strong bond with me
yeah.
as I saw between Moana and her sister. but at the same time, I just can't handle
which is fair,
I also can't handle the relationship with my sister's parents.
which is fair,
It's all too much.
which is fair. When I watched, every time I saw the scene with Moana and her sister, see, like all I could think about was when I had moved out of my parents' house and stuff, because that happened 4-ish years ago, going on 4.5 years ago, and it was up until up until earlier this year was the first time I saw them in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And so like that saying bye but not knowing, like I felt that hard thinking about my younger siblings.
Sorry.
Now that I've seen them and like I'm seeing them again like within the next month and stuff, but
That's just something that's I feel like always hard for any sibling where there's an age gap.
sibling relationships are tough
Yeah.
because so many factors come into them.
I was
Like,
like, because I feel like my sister's always betrayed. I feel like my sister, like, if she sits there and thinks about me, I feel like she's probably thinking, like, why does my sister not love me?
mm-hmm.
And like it's not that. It's just
Yeah, one of my sisters has been holding the last 4 years over my head, and it bothers me to no end. Like, I am doing everything I can to rectify that one. But with her being my youngest sister and stuff, it's gonna take a little bit more. But like, it's the hardest thing to overcome because she'll bring it up, and then it's like a knife.
yeah, and I'm honestly worried for when my sister becomes an adult because like shit,
Yeah, well, that's okay, but
I don't know.
to pull us out a little bit before we head too far down,
uh, Like it's
that's okay, and we don't have to talk about that.
we got messy families.
We have messy families. This is true. But back to Moana. Like, okay, a cute scene I thought was like at the beginning of the movie when she's like coming back, her dad like rides out on the canoe. He's like goes beyond the reef and is like, "I'll race ya," and and she freaking beats him over to the cove. I think that was so cute.
I was gonna talk about the shell, the little crab.
Oh my god, this was the weirdest detail.
It was cute. So the beginning of the movie opens up with this crab who is like he needs a new shell because his current shell is too small. And he finds an empty shell. And then was it Moana or Moana's sister?
Moana's sister.
She was running through the water and then like kind of disturbs the new shell that this crab wanted to go into.
Mm-hmm.
And then um more running happens as they're transitioning into the new shell. And anyways, it's this little bit that kind of
Comes and goes. Right, he's like trying to get into the shell, gets into the shell and falls over.
it's the
Like,
squirrel in Ice Age who's trying to get his
yes.
nut. Oh god. Oh god.
We are not that kind of podcast.
Sorry, but oh god.
That's funny. That is funny.
Okay.
But no, how would you rate this movie? Yeah.
6. It's enough to watch it again, but not enough to make it a favorite.
What about on the tomato meter? I'll say it's like an 80,
I'm thinking back to
75,
the
80.
last episode of me and Megan's tomato meter of wrinkleness.
We are not going to revisit this.
I, I, I was gonna put Moana as a 35-year-old man on the tomato meter.
Doesn't make sense. What do you mean a 35-year-old man?
Because they're still young enough to be hip with things and they're also still attractive that you're in.
That's not the tomato meter.
It's reference to me and Megan's tomato meter last episode. to creating a meter that references the ripeness of the tomato that is not actually the tomato.
No, just tomato.
But
It's not a fresh tomato. It's not 100% certified fresh tomato.
yes, this is why it's a 35-year-old man. It's enough to
No,
look at, be attracted to, but not enough to pursue. Well, occasionally
I would
pursue.
say this ranks 75 to 80% on a tomato.
I would say it's at 60 to 70. Like it is a C minus average
60 to 70 is a D average.
in college.
75 is a C average.
You know they changed the grading now.
My entire system from middle through college, 75 was C, was a flat C.
Yeah, not including college now, but public schools have changed their grading systems.
Well, they're done.
Yes.
But I'm saying, off of everything we know, 75 is a C.
That's why I said a C minus.
Sure, I'm not gonna argue on this. Okay, you can say C minus 60 to 70%, which to my mind is a D. um, but I think it's like 75, 80 because I personally was invested. The relationships between the characters were good. The story plot was good. The songs were mediocre. I think it wasn't again like 100% level. Like even Wicked was like 90% and stuff. Mary Poppins is a 100% movie.
Oh, for you.
No, actually, it's rated 100%. Um, this is 75, 80. It's mediocre.
It's enough to keep kids happy.
That is also true, but it does have some fun jokes for like
The
anyone
kid
watching.
next to us was so cute.
Yes, but I think we hit our point. Like, there's nothing, like, there's not a lot to talk about left.
Well, for the next episode, friends, please tell me that you understand my tomato meter. Also, if you watched the entire episode, let us know where you found Tsum Tsum Donald Duck.
Why did you bring up Donald? That was going to be a silent gag. For our last 3 episodes, we've had Donald in random spots.
See, but if they're paying attention, they'll comment where they see random Donald.
Or it can just be a running gag.
I
That we
want
have
our viewers to be entertained throughout the show. We got to give them games.
That's what I was going to have it be. Okay. Bye, friends.
Bye.